Hi everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood hanger Hobbit here, and as you can see, I've been having me some fun and enduring confrontation. Oh yeah, made me some money and got to spade some low-level birds I've been meaning to spade, so hey, it's all good. Yes, look at that loveliness. But that's not what we're here for. As some of you may or may not have seen, they had a poll for the new patch, and the number one thing requested on the poll, fix Air RB. So I figured I would take this time, use a little bit of this footage from Enduring Confrontation, because frankly I think a lot of the fixes can come from this mode. I really do. But we're going to talk about what's broke and what needs fixing. Because I've already seen some videos by guys like McChickenbites that are like, they're not going to fix it, who cares, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you're screwed. But you know what? We hobbits are nice little happy creatures, and I don't want to be all pessimistic. I want to have a positive outlook. I think if we show them what is wrong in a reasonable manner, and show them how to fix it without having to spend a ton of money and a ton of dev time, they're more likely to do it. I mean, look at good old summer. Everybody said, oh God, we hate that stupid tank grind thing. So they came back with the good old summer, which was just like the old days, only better, because they got rid of that stupid teamwork crap. Alright, first thing we need to look at, what's wrong with Air RB? Because you can't fix something if you don't know what's broke. You know what I mean? Very simple. What's wrong with Air RB? 1, the balance. 2, they haven't updated anything in 3 dang forevers. 3, bombers and attackers on most maps have no use. 4, stuffing in the ground forces maps into Air RB where they don't fit. Alright, let's start with the balance. American planes, and I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for this, but it's not just the Americans, honestly. The early FW 190s, the VB10s, there's a whole bunch of planes in this game that were made for an hour to an hour and a half climb before they reach the battlefield. And I know this is going to tick a lot of people off, but facts are facts. We need to bring back the air spawns. We really do. Because the whole reason everything is so lopsided right now is half of the dang planes can't get to where they need to be. I mean, look at the gun camera footage from World War II. Did you see Mustangs fighting 300 feet off the ground? Did you see Corsairs mowing lawns? Did you see FW 190s 2 foot off the freaking deck? No, you didn't. But these planes have such an absurd climb rate, and these little bitty ground forces maps are so tilted to interceptors that they really don't have any point to climb. I mean, good grief, I took out my F4 on Hurtgen Forest. At 4,300 meters, I could see both runways and the entire map. The poor little Americans that tried to side climb, yeah, I could see their dots the entire time, and so could the rest of the team. So please don't give me that, oh, they need to side climb. No. Blind Hunt killed the side climb. Side climb is no longer a viable option, boys and girls. Because it's not going to do you any good to side climb if somebody can throw a blind hunt before you even reach 4 kilometers. So anything that has a climb rate of less than 15 meters per second needs an air spawn. Really, really bad. Because it's not doing any good to either team. I mean, when's the last time you had some really good high altitude battles in your German fighters? Or your Japanese? Or your Brits? You haven't, have you? When I was making that video on the G6, 2 battles out of 10 were there anybody at altitude, and guess what? They were both USA 109 F4 premiums. Because everything else couldn't reach us in maps like Tunisia before we were just sitting on top of the runway and kicking the puppies. So yeah, that's got to be changed. We got to have the air spawns back. Second, bombers and attackers. Look at Enduring Confrontation, Gaijin. You have the code in the game to fix the whole problem with bombers and attackers. In Enduring Confrontation, they have actual goals that actually affect the gameplay. The attackers can take out tanks that will steal your forward runways away. Or they can take out pillboxes to help their freaking tanks get through them to steal the other guy's runway. The bombers can bomb forward air bases so that the teams can't use them. This gives us a great dynamic battlefield. This gives every plane a reason to exist. I mean, how many times have we gotten into matches and find out, 75% of the team is just farming. And they're going to be completely useless. They're not going to help their team any because the old style of 3 bases and an airfield just doesn't work. It doesn't. There's maybe half a dozen planes in the whole game, as far as bombers go, that can actually take them out in one run. Everything else, you just wasted a slot that could have been taken by a fighter. And the attackers, sadly, they're not much better. I mean, I know how many times I put up videos of IL-2, but frankly, that's pretty much the only one that you can actually really use like a heavy fighter. A lot of the other ones just no. I mean, the ground targets they have to shoot at, their guns is not going to kill them. I mean, good luck trying to kill those freaking pillboxes with nothing but a 50 cal. Yeah, have fun with that. But with Enduring Confrontation, they have a reason to exist. And even better, you give the fighters a reason to protect them because you can make that an objective. Go ahead. Put them in the game, and then all you have to do is have that as an objector. Protect your bombers while they attack C. Protect your attackers while they attack D. Whatever the target is. Give the fighters a reason to do their jobs. Because right now in RRB, fighters have absolutely no reason at all to give a flying crap about the bombers or the attackers except as snacks. I mean, good grief. How many times have you seen some poor B-17 getting completely schnockered, and there's half a dozen Spitfires or stuff that could be protecting the B-17, but they have no craps to give? Yeah, that's because there's no reason for them to do it. But if you made that an objective where they get extra RP and extra lions for doing so, I have a feeling that it would be a lot better for everybody. The bombers wouldn't feel like they're all alone and having to dive or get snockered, and the fighters would have a reason to actually protect the bombers, and they might actually have some fun. Right now, it's not. And the ground forces maps. Gaijin, no. Just no. No ground forces maps in RRB. Ground forces is made for tanks. Tanks go 20 to 25 kilometers an hour. You're talking about planes that do 600. It doesn't work. And there's no point. There really isn't. Look at how many maps you have for RRB. They're just hardly ever in rotation. If you want to fix RRB as far as people complaining about the maps, just up the map rotation. Nobody's going to care if it's a realistic battle or not, because good grief, realism was thrown out the door 2 bloody years ago. I mean, how many times have I seen Japanese fighting at Stalingrad? Give me a break. So don't give us that realism crap. Put those maps in rotation. I want to be able to fly on Eastern Europe. I don't care if I'm flying a Spitfire. I want to fly on all those old ARB maps that we almost never see anymore. There's a ton of them. But because you're not flying the right plane at the right BR, I mean, good Lord, do you know how long it's been since I've seen Spain? It's been like over a year since I've seen Spain. And I've never seen it in a jet, the one place where that map would work perfectly. Come on, Gaijin, give us a freaking break. Get rid of the ground forces map. Just up the rotation on the ARB maps. I guarantee you, your players will be happy. There's really not that much you need to fix. The balance issue can be fixed with air spawns. The bombers and attackers can be fixed with a dynamic map and giving the fighters a reason to protect them. It's really not that hard, Gaijin. Now, one other thing you need to fix is fighters strapping 5 tons of crap to themselves and turn themselves into the world's crappiest bombers. And this is an easy fix that's already in your game. You just haven't implemented it in the right mode. In ground forces, you have to earn RP to get those bombs and rockets. Don't have the RP, you don't get the bombs and you don't get the rockets. Why is it not that way in ARB? It would make so much sense. That way fighters would have to actually go out and be fighters, but then if you have that last guy that wants to run to space, the fighters could still strap bombs and rockets at the end of the match to affect the tickets. It would be better for everybody. That way you wouldn't have half the team taken up by fighters that are being the world's lousiest bombers, but at the same time, those fighters that could strap bombs could still do that at the end of the match when it makes sense. Letting them strap it on at the very start of the map makes no sense at all. And now, one other thing that's probably going to bother a few people, but I'm sorry, but everybody who's tried it knows what I'm talking about. The guns, especially stuff like the Spark Spanos. You cannot freaking fix balance by nerfing guns. It doesn't work. All it does is tick players off when they kill themselves to get into that perfect deflection shot, only to have their rounds bounce off of some little wimpy plane like they were throwing frickin' silly putty at it. It doesn't work. That's not how you fix balance. You fix balance with changes in BRs. You don't fix balance by making guns into poop. So here's my suggestion for that. Go back to the old way. Remember pre 1.59 where every cannon was deadly? I mean every cannon in the game. I don't care if you were shooting a 15 millimeter or a friggin' 57 millimeter tank gun. If you slammed a cannon round into somebody, they were having a really bad day. And that's what we want, guys. And we don't want to kill ourselves for deflection shots just to have the guns go squeak and not do anything. Meanwhile, because you decided that this week this guy should get a buff while this plane should get a nerf, the other guy can shoot one round and cut our plane in half. That's not balance. That's not fun. I mean, we were talking about it on this Enduring Confrontation things. Russians were throwing 60, 80, 120 millimeter rounds into some of these birds, and they were just flying off like it was nothing. Meanwhile, we could fire one single MG-151 right into their fuselage and literally cut them in half. Yeah, that's not fun for us. That's not fun for them. The old way was fun, and the old way you had to pay attention to what the heck you were doing, because you weren't going to get lucky with a nerf. If they hit you with a 20 millimeter, if you were really lucky, you might just have the oil and the water just pouring out of your plane. And maybe if you were really lucky and somebody would back you up, you might be able to limp it back, maybe. Maybe. More than one? Yeah, you're going home in a body bag. But that was what made it fun. That was what made it a challenge. And that's what AirRB players want. If we want easy mode, you know what? That's what AB's for, where we can have multiple planes. Or enduring confrontation. That's another thing. Why do you only have this like once every few months? Why not make it every weekend? What would be so horrible about that? This would be a great way to teach early pilots about AirRB. This would teach them about lead, teach them about gun discipline, all of that stuff, because they have all these lovely little bots, and it would help them grind out the parts they need without just getting schnockered. Why not make enduring confrontation every weekend, and then just have it for a different nation at a different BR every weekend? Like this weekend is Germany versus Russia. Next weekend might be America versus Germany, or America versus Russia at, say, 3.7. Next match next weekend after that, have a low tier one like 1.0 to 2.0. Like I said, you could use this as a great teaching tool. All these bots give the players a perfect freaking chance to practice. And it's fun, and they can make a little RP, make a little money, earn some upgrades to their planes. I don't see a downside in this, Gaijin. I really don't. I mean, you're losing players, man. I love this game. I really do. But the current way you're doing things, are just, hey, throw some more crap at the wall and see if it sticks. I gotta agree with McChicken Bites and the other guys. It's fine for a little short-term money, because you're going to get a few of them that'll just buy whatever Tier 5, Tier 6, Tier 28, whatever premium they got, just so they can have the latest and greatest. But then they're going to get in there, and they're going to find out the matches suck, and it's boring, and it's either puppy kicking or getting kicked. That's not fun. And you know what? They're going to leave. And that's where you're going to lose the big money. You make the big money by getting people to stay, by getting them to freaking buy that premium time for 6 months or a year or something, because they're enjoying it and they want to get higher up in the game. They want to get all of those planes. They want to get all those tanks. But you're not going to do that if you don't fix the mess. Because right now there are certain BRs that are just pretty much unplayable. I mean, good Lord, you get a map like Hurtgen Forest, the Americans have pretty much lost. Game over before anybody even gets wheels up. Because all of the F1s and F2s and F4s, they're all going to be in space and dropping on those poor little P-39s and P-40s who ain't going to have a snowball's chance in hell of ever getting guns on. That's not fun. Heck, it's even worse in some of the high-tier stuff. American jets at 7.0, 2/3 of the Axis team has air spawns, dude. Give me a freaking break. I mean, you got the R2-D2s, the second AR-230, the Italian F-84, the friggin' ME-163s, which you just added another one to, so yeah, that'll help. And I mean, how many of them does the Allies get to get an air spawn? As far as I know, one. That second F-84. That's it. And then you put in maps like Mozdok and Hurtgen Forest and Tunisia. Good Lord. No. You're not going to get people to stay if your games are all puppy kicking or getting kicked. It just, there's no challenge. There's no real fun. I mean, good Lord, I goofed off. Completely goofed off in my G55S and did a 20 slot golden battle wager, and I only lost one freaking wager on it. And we didn't lose the match. No, the only reason I lost that wager is because players got frustrated and J'd out before I could get the kill. That is sad, Gaijin. That is sad when a player can literally goof off and win 20 matches in a row without even really trying. That tells me that the balance is busted, man. But like I said, this can be fixed. 90% of the code that you need to fix it is right here in front of you. Enduring confrontation. Take the best parts of that. Take the frickin' dynamic maps. Take the freaking objectives for ground force guys like the tank, bombers and the attackers. Give the fighters a reason to protect them. And bring back the freaking air spawns for the planes that cannot climb. If you do this and get rid of the ground forces maps, just make the air RB maps have a little more rotation to them, you'd find out you'd have a lot of people staying because they wouldn't know before a match started who won 9 times out of 10. There would be challenge. There would be excitement. There would be battles up in the clouds like you see in the movies. That's what we want, Gaijin. We like your game. We enjoy the hell out of it. We want it to be better. We're not doing this to ride your butt. We're doing this because this game used to be awesome, and it can be awesome again. It's just going to take just a little tweaking. It's not going to cost much at all. You want to keep putting out premium junk? Go right ahead. Like I said, 90% of this code, all you got to do is copy and paste it from Enduring Confrontation. Wipe your hands and call it a day. Well, this is your friendly neighborhood hanger Hobbit saying, hope to see you up there in the clouds and enjoy the rest of this little Enduring Confrontation montage. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.